Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I am your host, Brad Drake, and we're back in action today with my AWA save. So we are rolling along here to tour date number 94. We are in Sunday of the first week of October, and the AWA is traveling to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Our card, Vivian St. John, is going to battle Reggie Bennett in our opener. The Top Guns are going to face, we haven't decided yet since Psycho's injured, Ali Khan is going to battle DJ Peterson. Colonel DeBeers is going to step in the ring with Jerry Blackwell. Sheik Adnan al-Kaissey is going to face the legendary Ray Stevens. Rip Oliver is going to mix it up with Jerry the King Lawler. Mr. Saito and Bob Backlund will have a technical masterclass. And the Midnight Rockers are going to challenge the Midnight Express for the World Tag Team title. Let's get to the main screen and let's get to booking. Okay, so we are in Green Bay. Let's go ahead and get our venue set. So we're in Great Lakes. It should be the Veterans Coliseum that we run, but let's see based on our expected attendance here. Scroll down to Wisconsin. Okay, there's the Green Bay Veterans Arena. We'd be giving up about 2,400 seats here. This looks like a double. Looks like the Brown County. Yeah, it is. That's a double. Ooh, we can run in La Crosse, but that's not Green Bay. We're promising Green Bay here. So let's go ahead and run the Brown County Veterans Arena. We got to fix that. We got to tune that up. In fact, we're going to make a note of that right now. See if we can't find some other arenas there in Green Bay too. And as far as the La Crosse Center goes, I think on this save, we're going to start running some spot shows. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a spot show is, so we're running as the AWA here, right? And we have our touring schedule. We have our towns. We have our 9 towns that we're running. So that was our bread and butter. Now, companies like the AWA not only ran those 9 towns, but they also did smaller shows in smaller cities called spot shows, which means they weren't part of the loop and they were spotty shows. So you might have 1 this week, 2 next week. You might not have any for 6 months. That's just how it goes. Spot shows were usually a deal with a high school or a college, and it was usually like a fundraiser type thing. If you ever want to hear how spot shows truly worked, you could go to Jim Cornette's podcast, and he explains perfectly how spot shows how spot shows were and how profitable they were for companies. So I think we're going to start doing spot shows here and there and throwing them into the schedule. Let's check out our backstage instance. Uh-oh, Dennis Stamp. Oh, Dennis Stamp is telling hilarious road stories. He may be telling everybody how he stays in shape jumping up and down on that trampoline in his backyard. I don't know. Could be. Who's absent? Of course, Psycho's out. This is going to be the only one that's going to bother us. It's going to be Psycho. And we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. There is something we could do for that. I'm just not sure I want to do it. So let's get to booking, and then I'll worry about it. We're going to start out with our ladies' match here. Vivian St. John versus Reggie Bennett. And we're going to take a look to see how this tilt has gone. We don't want it to get too out of control. So we'll check, and we'll try to keep it balanced. Something tells me Reggie Bennett has been winning all these matches. But let's take a look. Oh, Vivian St. John won 2 in a row. And then Reggie Bennett won 1. Let's have Reggie Bennett win again. That's cool. All right, Bennett's going to get the win. The segment is booked. Next, we have our tag match. So Psycho is out. Now, we have Tom Benninghouse. And Tom Benninghouse wrestled as one of the Texas Hangmen with Mike Moran. as Strangler. We could use him, but I don't know if I want to cross that bridge yet. Because if you're a fan and you're watching TV every week and you're seeing Psycho and Killer as the Texas Hangmen, and all of a sudden you go to a tour show and you got another guy in there, it's going to seem a little odd. Not that this didn't happen all the time in wrestling, but it just seems a little odd. So, why don't we use another heel team here? But I don't want to use the Nasty Boys. For the heck of it, why don't we get Duncombe and Slater some work? And let's have Duncombe and Slater go over the Top Guns. And based on how long Psycho's going to be out, we should only have to do this one more time. So we're going to have Dick Slater get the win. And that solves that problem. All right, next is going to be Khan versus Peterson. We're going to have to make sure that Peterson gets the win here because we've got the heels winning the first two matches. So there we go. DJ Peterson with the win. DeBeers versus Blackwell, 14 minutes. We're going to leave this one open-ended. Actually, we're going to take a look here and make sure it's not getting out of hand to one side or the other. There we go. Let's take a look at Blackwell here. Okay, Blackwell won the last one. So we're going to have Colonel DeBeers win this one. And we're going to have Colonel DeBeers cheat. Playing this game again. Jerry Blackwell was an easygoing guy. He wouldn't have refused to do the job, so we're going to make a note of that. I hate when you see that in this game, especially with the AWA here. All right, so al-Kaissey versus Ray Stevens. And remember, Ray Stevens is semi-retired here. So we're actually having him work a lot of matches here. All right, we'll leave this one open-ended, although I got a feeling Ray Stevens is going to get the win. Our next match here is Rip Oliver and Jerry Lawler. They're going to go 16. Of course, we're going to have Lawler go over. You know what? We're going to leave it open. We just had the big title change last show. Does it really matter at this point if Jerry Lawler takes a couple losses off camera? I don't think so. I think before Curt Hennig won the title, the question was, is Lawler a contender for the title? And that was a reasonable, good question. But now that we have a big-time babyface as the champion, Lawler's a little bit out of the title picture here. All right, Saito versus Backlund. We're going to have this as a technical masterclass. And we're going to check this one again. I think we had Saito win the last one. But we're going to double check. These two have been putting on fantastic matches together. All right, so we had Saito twice in a row beat Bob Backlund. So Bob Backlund's going to take the win here. Look at that. Saito doesn't complain. And our main event, we're going to have the Rockers versus the Midnight Express. We're going to have this one go 30 minutes. It's going to be an epic. This has been a fun feud. A very fun feud. These two have been putting on excellent matches together. And we're going to have Dennis Condrey win by manager interference. To keep the point of this feud is to keep the Rockers chasing that title. That's the whole point of this, is to keep the Rockers chasing. That's where the money is. People are going to show up to the arenas to see the Rockers chase the big bad heels for the tag title. And it's working very well. So let's go ahead and book this out. We're at the usual, just over an hour and 20 minutes. We have all 8 of our matches booked. And let's go ahead and let's get rolling. All right, so Reggie Bennett gets the win. Of course, they get a low score. It's going to take a while for these two to build up in popularity. This one's pretty disappointing. Dick Slater only scored a 64. Are you nuts? And I don't even think we sold out the Veterans Arena. Yeah, we did. We sold it out. So, this is a disappointing score. Now, granted, the Top Guns are not that high in popularity. I get it. But this is a little disappointing here. Bobby Duncombe looked good. All right, Peterson versus Khan. Peterson gets the win. And here's Blackwell versus DeBeers. And of course, Blackwell gets the win. We're going to rectify that. The big boy needs to start taking some losses. Help out the team here. And Stevens beats al-Kaissey again. Ray Stevens only scores a 72 in the Great Lakes. That's pretty shocking. Stevens is now getting hit with inconsistency too. If anybody can tell me how to correct that, email me or drop a note in the comments. Let me know, because that one I don't quite understand. All right, and Lawler scores an 84. Oliver only scores a 54. That's okay. He's newer to the territory. That's understandable. Lawler gets the win with that fist drop. Excellent. A nice babyface win there. And then here's another good babyface win. This is a nice score, 84 here, with Backlund versus Saito. And we got good score across the board here. Excellent. Now, see, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Backlund scores an 86. Saito scores an 82. So the overall segment rating is 84. That makes perfect sense compared to the crap we've seen in previous shows. Our main event only gets an 83. Wow, Randy Rose dragged us down that bad. Ugh, that's disappointing. But 83, AWA is just crawling out of the cellar here, so that's not exactly a terrible score. So we got a lot of bonuses here. We got a knock on the experience of Jannetty and Michaels. Fair enough, fair enough. So another solid tag match for the main event, no doubt about it. Green Bay got a real good show here. Let's see what we score overall. Hopefully it's in the 80s. And it is, 81. Good. Good show score. I like it. Let's go ahead and finish up here. Oh, yeah, we're going to make some speeches. Sorry, I totally forgot. We got to point out Bob Backlund. We got to point out Mr. Saito. Thought both of them did a very good job in their matches, and then we're going to give Jerry Lawler some credit here too. All right, we're going to make our speeches. Backlund's pleased. Saito's pleased. Lawler's pleased. And we're going back to the main screen here, folks. I don't know about you, but I am still excited from our last show with Kurt Hennig taking the title like that. I'm still excited. That was a big deal. Real big deal. Let's check our incoming here. There's Janetti giving somebody a hard time as usual. He's giving Ali Khan a hard time. All right, we're going to fix up Jerry Blackwell here because he's got to work with DeBeers. And that's actually a nice pairing. That's a good match. It's a really over babyface with a really hated heel. So Blackwell's got to help us out here. You know, I never heard anything but Blackwell being a nice guy, so I don't know why it's not reflected here. So we're going to go with giving performer, of course. Professional and easy to do business with. This should correct his problem. So that's fixed. Now let's delete one of our too many venues in Green Bay. And I got a feeling I probably accidentally created one of these Green Bay one of these Green Bay ones. Okay, that's 5,000, that one. I think the other one's 5,200. Brown Arena in Green Bay. Yeah, it's just outside of Green Bay. So we're going to delete the Green Bay Veterans Arena. You know what? I'm not going to. Maybe I'm confused here. Maybe these are two separate arenas, actually. Would one of you fans like to chime in? Nah, they're the same thing. Brown County Veterans Memorial Arena. So I think this is one I created and shouldn't have. You can't delete it. You can only rename it. Never mind. All right, we're going to leave it be then. Let's take a look around the game world, everybody, and see what's going on. WF Live Tour. Harley Race beats Ultimate Warrior in a strap match in the main event. Ultimate Warrior is not doing well here. Let's take a look at his match history. 26 wins, 24 losses. Okay, but he's losing to Bundy twice. He's working some six-mans, doing some tag work. I don't know. He's definitely not the dominant Ultimate Warrior that we were really seeing. How's Harley Race doing? What's his match history look like? He scored a 100 match. Wow. He's got an average of 81, 71, and 17. I'd say they're treating him pretty well in the WWF, which wasn't true to life. Harley Race was taking a lot of losses. He also had the blonde hair at this point and was doing the King gimmick. I don't know. Kind of do their own thing here. Let's take a look at the other stuff going on here. NWA's running. They have a tag team named the Legion of Death, which is Rotunda and Trailer. Man, is that awful. I'll be logging in there to change that out. Kevin Sullivan and Lasertron. This is a garbage card. This is the kind of card that you run in a spot show. You don't run this card for a regular card, but that's what you get when it's lesser or it's tour. That's what happens. So let's take a look at the other groups. Oh, not too much else going on here. New Japan, the Toucan series. Big six-man in the main event there. 89 overall. Konga the Barbarian is also known as the Barbarian. Nice card. George Takano, the Cobra, is there. I think very highly of George Takano. Thought he was a really good wrestler. Who's Saito? Oh, okay. Kira Nogami was a good hand. Tony Charles, he's older here, but Tony Charles was real good. He was Checkmate in World Class. If any of you watched World Class in the early 80s, he wrestled as Checkmate. Tony Charles was smooth. He was that World of Sport style, and then he came to the U.S. and smoothed out, and he was really good. He reminds me a lot of Pat Barrett. He wrestled a lot like Pat Barrett, and even a little bit like Steve Regal or William Regal, whatever you want to call him. He reminds me a lot of Tony Charles, the way Tony Charles worked. Tony Charles was good. All right, let's take a look at our upcoming card. Obviously, we do not have a television taping for next week. Actually, we may, because it's every other week. I think we do have... No, we're good. We taped for week 1 and week 2 of October. So our next TV taping will be in week 3. So we'll scroll down here, get our fresh week up. And you can see we're starting off in Chicago. We'll be back on the UIC Pavilion. Then we're going to travel over to Denver. Then we're going to travel over to Salt Lake City. And I think, folks, we may, for the next episode, do a spot show here. And Kenosha looks pretty promising for a spot show. So I think we're going to do it. So I don't know. Let's take a look at our events schedule here. And we just completed 94. So our next event wouldn't be until next Friday. So we could do another spot show here. Do we want to call it spot show? We're going to give a different picture for the spot show. That's cool. And what should we call it? AWA spot show. Let's call it spot show 1 for the heck of it. We can always change it. And we are going to run in Kenosha. I'm sorry, lacrosse. We're going to run that lacrosse center. Okay, this is going to be our next episode. We're going to do this spot show. There it is. So we're going to start every once in a while. We're going to throw in a spot show here. We saw that big draw for attendance there in Kenosha. So not Kenosha. I keep saying that. I'm sorry. In La Crosse. I've been in La Crosse many times. Real nice town. So why not do a spot show? So I think that's going to do it for us here, folks, for this episode. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. We're going to be back next episode for our spot show, a little something different. So if any of you want this mod and you don't have it yet, contact me at braddrake.net/contact and drop me a line, and I'll send you over the Google Drive link, and it'll get you the picture pack and the database for version 6. Okay? If you haven't done so already, please give us a like, share these videos. Let your friends know about it. Let their friends know about it. Let their friends know about it. Get the word out. We gain in popularity every day. We get more and more subscribers every day. So please continue sharing, continue getting the word out. And last but not least, give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Help us keep going strong here. We keep gaining each and every day and each and every week. And I really enjoy the support, and I thank you. And also, join us on Facebook. Talk about the mod. Facebook.com/groups/1987 Supermod. That's Facebook.com/groups/1987 Supermod. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.